Have you ever felt a strange pull towards someone without knowing why? A glance that lingers just a second too long, a touch that feels both accidental and intentional at the same time. What if I told you that seduction isn't loud? It doesn't announce itself like a storm. It's a whisper, a subtle art, a dance of unspoken signals. The signals are always present, but they require a keen eye and an open mind to interpret them correctly. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more insights into the psychology of attraction. You don't want to miss out. Now, here's the real question. Would you even know if a woman was trying to seduce you? Or would you brush it off, convinced it's all in your head? Many men overlook the nuanced ways in which women express attraction, misreading signals or dismissing them altogether. The truth is, seduction is an ancient art, and women have perfected it in ways that most men fail to notice. Science tells us that over 90% of human communication is non-verbal, which means that seduction happens not in words, but in the spaces between them. If a woman is drawing you in, she won't say it outright. She'll make you feel it, leaving you intrigued, curious, and wanting more. So if you've ever had that nagging feeling that a woman was playing a game with you, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it, pay attention. Here are 8 undeniable signs that she's trying to seduce you. Sign 1. The eyes that linger. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but they're also a woman's most powerful seduction tool. When a woman is truly interested, her gaze isn't casual. She locks onto you, holds, and lingers just a second longer than necessary. That moment of prolonged eye contact can send a surge of excitement through your body, triggering a subconscious connection between the two of you. Why does this work? Science has an answer. Studies in psychology reveal that prolonged eye contact releases phenylethylamine, PEA, a chemical linked to feelings of infatuation. Ever felt that unexplainable pull after someone held your gaze just a bit too long? That's the power of lingering eyes. But there's a difference between regular eye contact and seductive eye contact. Casual glances happen in passing. She looks, then looks away. But if she's trying to seduce you, she holds her gaze, looks away slowly, savoring the moment. And if she keeps catching your eye across the room, creating an invisible string between your gazes, consider yourself officially in the game. There's also an added layer to eye contact: dilated pupils. When someone is attracted to you, their pupils naturally expand as a physiological response. If you catch her in a dimly lit setting and notice that her pupils seem a bit wider than usual, it's not just the lighting, it's biology at work. If she pairs her gaze with a subtle smirk, gentle lip bite, or slight head tilt, she's turning up the heat without saying a single word. Pay attention to the way she blinks as well. Slow, deliberate blinking is often an unconscious signal of attraction. If she tilts her head slightly while maintaining eye contact, she's amplifying her allure. If she raises her eyebrows slightly when looking at you, it's a clear indication that she's intrigued and wants to keep your attention. Sign 2. The accidental touch. A brush of her fingers, a pat on your shoulder that lingers, her knee pressing against yours under the table. These aren't just coincidences. These small but deliberate touches speak louder than words, hinting at a deeper interest. Women instinctively know that touch is one of the most powerful ways to build attraction. Physical touch releases oxytocin, also known as the bonding hormone. It creates connection, lowers defenses, and makes you crave more of her presence, without even realizing why. The more she initiates touch, the stronger the connection grows. Most men dismiss these touches as accidental, but think about it. How often do you accidentally touch someone you're not interested in? Exactly. If she's touching you more than she touches others, it's deliberate. If she playfully hits your arm, fixes your shirt, or invades your personal space, she's testing your reaction. She may even use excuses to initiate contact, such as brushing lint off your shoulder or adjusting your tie. Subtle touches build anticipation and tension. If she lingers just a second too long when handing you something, or if her fingers lightly graze yours as she passes an object, she's using physical contact to stir desire. These touches may seem innocent on the surface, but they carry a weight of intention beneath them. The closer she allows herself to get to you, the more she's inviting you into her space. Another key sign to watch for is mirroring. If she unconsciously mirrors your body language, crossing her legs when you do, adjusting her posture to match yours, it's a sign that she's in sync with you on a subconscious level. Mirroring is a powerful rapport-building tool that naturally occurs when two people feel a connection. If she subtly copies your gestures, she's likely feeling an attraction that she may not even be consciously aware of. The next time she accidentally touches you, don't ignore it. Ask yourself, is she creating tension, or are you just brushing it off? If she combines touch with prolonged eye contact, subtle mirroring, and an inviting smile, it's a surefire sign she's interested. Remember, attraction isn't always loud. It's found in the subtleties, the fleeting moments, the spaces between words. Stay alert, because the signs are always there if you know where to look. Sign 3. The shift in her voice. Most people assume that seduction is primarily about physical appearance, how someone looks, how they dress, how they carry themselves. But they often overlook one of the most potent and subtle weapons of attraction, the voice. When a woman is trying to seduce you, her voice undergoes a transformation. It's not always immediately noticeable, but if you pay close attention, you'll see the signs. Her tone becomes softer, almost as if she's sharing a secret meant only for your ears. She elongates her words slightly, savoring each syllable, making her speech more deliberate and intimate. This change isn't accidental, it's instinctual. Her voice drops in pitch, taking on a smoother, more sultry quality. The effect? It draws you in, making you feel as if you are the only person in the room. Science backs this up. Studies show that when a woman is attracted to someone, her voice naturally lowers. A deeper, more controlled voice is perceived as sensual and engaging. This subtle shift isn't just a random quirk, it's an evolutionary advantage. By lowering her voice, she signals warmth, intimacy, and confidence. Men, whether consciously or unconsciously, find such tones more appealing because they suggest closeness and emotional connection. One of the most fascinating aspects of vocal seduction is a phenomenon called vocal mirroring. This is when she unconsciously matches her speaking style to yours. If you slow your speech, she slows hers. If your tone deepens, hers follows suit. This synchronization is a powerful sign of rapport and subconscious attraction. It creates a sense of unity, an unspoken bond between two people. When two people are on the same wavelength, their voices naturally fall into rhythm, fostering a stronger emotional connection. This mirroring isn't always deliberate, but it's one of the clearest indicators of subconscious attraction. Pay close attention to what happens when she whispers. Whispering forces you to lean in closer, reducing the physical space between you. This movement, however subtle, builds anticipation and tension. Two essential ingredients in the art of seduction. If she deliberately lowers her voice, drawing you into her world, congratulations, you're already caught in her game. Another important factor is laughter. If her laughter is warm, frequent, and slightly husky around you, it's a major sign she feels comfortable and engaged. Laughter that seems more exaggerated or drawn out than usual is another indication of interest. A woman's voice, when mixed with laughter and mirroring, can create an irresistible cocktail of attraction. Next time you're with a woman who intrigues you, listen to how her voice changes. Does she slow down her speech? Does her tone drop when she talks to you compared to others? Does she mirror your pacing and rhythm? Does she laugh more often or in a richer tone? If the answer is yes, you've just uncovered one of the strongest signs of attraction. Sign 4. The lips and hair play. A woman's lips and hair are among her most powerful tools of seduction. These features hold a special allure, and she knows exactly how to use them to capture attention and create attraction. Have you ever noticed a woman biting her lip while looking at you, or running her tongue subtly over her lower lip? These aren't random gestures, they're subconscious signals of interest. When a woman touches or emphasizes her lips, she's directing your focus to her mouth, an inherently sensual part of the body. Psychologists suggest that these behaviors are a way of non-verbally communicating desire. The same effect applies when she gently touches her lips with her fingertips, especially when engaged in conversation. It's a subtle way of drawing you in and making you focus on the potential for intimacy. Her hair is just as powerful in the game of attraction. Twisting a strand of hair around her finger, running her hands through it, or flipping it to expose the nape of her neck are classic preening behaviors. These actions emphasize her femininity and create a sense of movement, which naturally captures your attention. Evolutionarily speaking, healthy, well-groomed hair has been a sign of fertility and vitality, which is why such gestures remain universally attractive. But here's a little-known secret. If she applies lip balm or lipstick in front of you, she's testing your reaction. This act is more than just a touch-up. It's an indirect way of drawing attention to her lips and seeing if you notice. Seduction isn't just about attraction, it's about tension, about the build-up before the moment. By making such subtle gestures, she's inviting you into the game of anticipation. Beyond just applying lip products, women will often enhance their lips by pouting subtly or pressing them together when in conversation with someone they're interested in. This movement can be unconscious, a way of self-soothing or highlighting a feature that is naturally alluring. The lips are central in romantic attraction, and every small movement signals something deeper. The same applies to hair play. Beyond just twirling or flipping it, a woman might expose the soft skin of her neck as a further sign of openness and interest. Neck exposure is an ancient form of non-verbal communication, signifying trust and vulnerability. A woman who tilts her head slightly to one side while maintaining eye contact with you is not just engaged, she's inviting connection. This is why even the simplest act, like tucking her hair behind her ear or playfully running her fingers through it, can be so powerful. It's not about vanity, it's about subtly signaling availability and drawing attention to her features. When a woman plays with her hair or lips while talking to you, she's sending a clear message, whether she realizes it or not. The key is to observe. If she consistently plays with her lips or hair while engaged in conversation with you, it's a strong sign that she wants to be noticed. The next time you're interacting with a woman, don't just listen to her words. Watch her hands, her gestures, the way she moves. Attraction is often communicated through the smallest details, and those who can read these signs will always have the upper hand in the game of seduction. Sign 5. She creates intimate distance. Seduction isn't just about what's said, it's about how close someone gets when they say it. Physical proximity is one of the most potent forms of non-verbal communication, and a woman who is interested in seducing you will skillfully manipulate space to create an electrifying tension. A seductive woman understands that personal space is a boundary we instinctively maintain. When she deliberately reduces that space, She is signaling interest and waiting to see if you reciprocate. She may begin subtly, moving just a little closer than necessary during a conversation. Perhaps she leans in slightly when speaking, allowing her lips to hover near yours, drawing attention to the possibilities of closeness. Her body language is deliberate yet natural, never forced, never rushed. At first, these moments may seem incidental. You might chalk it up to coincidence. After all, people bump into each other all the time. But if you pay attention, you'll notice patterns. She consistently stands a little too close, her body angled toward you in a way that suggests engagement. She ensures that when you sit beside each other, your arms or legs just barely brush against one another, creating a spark of physical connection. These touches are fleeting yet powerful. The brush of a knee, the accidental grazing of fingers, these are all calculated moves designed to test the waters. If you don't pull away, she interprets it as an invitation to continue. Every time you allow the closeness, you reinforce an unspoken agreement that intimacy is welcome between you. Another clue lies in her reaction when the distance is increased. If she moves closer each time you create space, it's not by chance. If you step back and she instinctively steps forward, it's her way of maintaining the intimate connection she's fostering. She's drawing you into her sphere, pulling you into an invisible dance where she dictates the rhythm of attraction. But it's not just about proximity. It's about how she makes you feel within that space. The closer she gets, the more she invites your senses to awaken. You'll notice the scent of her perfume, the warmth of her skin, the softness of her voice as it lowers to a whisper, making you lean in to hear her better. She's not just closing the gap physically. She's building an emotional and psychological bridge that makes you crave more of her presence. This tactic plays on basic human nature. When someone invades our personal space, our natural instinct is to either back away or welcome it. If you welcome it, she knows she has ignited something deeper. The boundary between the two of you is dissolving, and with each inch of reduced distance, attraction intensifies. A woman who is consciously using this technique understands the power of anticipation. She may tease the closeness, leaning in one moment and pulling away the next, creating a tantalizing push-and-pull dynamic that keeps you engaged. It's this dance of nearness and restraint that makes the process of seduction so thrilling. Beyond just being near, she may also use touch as an added tool of attraction. A light touch on the arm during conversation, brushing past you intentionally, or resting her hand briefly on your shoulder. All of these are deliberate ways to increase physical closeness while keeping it subtle. If you reciprocate by not flinching or even subtly mirroring her movements, she knows you are in sync with her rhythm. Ultimately, by creating intimate distance, she is testing your willingness to connect on a deeper level. The way you respond determines how far she will go. If you find yourself lingering in her space, captivated by the magnetic pull of her presence, know that she has already succeeded in her seduction. Sign 6. The art of the compliment. A seductive woman doesn't just compliment you, she makes it personal. Words are powerful, but the way they are delivered makes all the difference. The key to her approach is that she doesn't just acknowledge your qualities, she attaches her emotions to them, making every compliment feel intimate and unique. Consider the difference between a generic compliment and one imbued with personal feeling. If she simply says, "You smell nice," it's polite but distant. However, if she says, "I love the way you smell," she's making it about her experience of you. That subtle shift turns a simple statement into a moment of connection. It's no longer just an observation, it's an emotional response tied directly to you. This kind of complimenting works because it makes you feel special. Instead of pointing out something obvious, she is expressing how you make her feel, which is far more seductive. It's not just about admiring your physical traits or skills, it's about showing that she's affected by them. That emotional depth is what keeps you intrigued. Let's break it down further. If she tells you, "You have nice arms," it's a compliment, but it remains objective. On the other hand, if she says, "I love how strong your arms feel," she's bringing the focus to her sensory experience of you. She's subtly inviting you to think about touching, holding, and feeling that strength in a way that sparks deeper attraction. Another example, a woman might say, "You're funny." It's a nice thing to hear, but it's not particularly memorable. However, when she says, "I love the way you make me laugh," she's not just commenting on your sense of humor. She's emphasizing how you make her feel. The connection becomes personal, as she is associating her happiness with your presence. The magic of this technique lies in its ability to create an emotional imprint. When someone makes us feel good, we naturally want to be around them more. A seductive woman knows this and strategically reinforces positive emotions linked to her presence. She ensures that every compliment leaves a lingering effect, making you think about her long after the conversation ends. Beyond words, her tone and delivery add to the allure. She may lower her voice slightly, lean in as she speaks, or make eye contact just long enough to let the words sink in. There's a softness in her tone that makes the compliment feel sincere and exclusive, like she sees something in you that no one else does. She may also use playful teasing as a way to make compliments feel more engaging. Instead of simply saying, "You're smart," she might tease, "You think you're the smartest one in the room, don't you?" with a flirty smirk, making the exchange fun and interactive. In essence, her compliments aren't just about boosting your ego. They are calculated yet natural tools of seduction designed to build emotional intimacy. When she personalizes her admiration, she's subtly claiming a part of you, creating a connection that's hard to resist. And once you start craving that validation from her, she knows she's got you exactly where she wants you. Sign 7. The push-pull game. Seduction isn't a straight line, it's a game of tension. A woman who is seducing you won't make things too easy. She'll tease, flirt, and show interest, only to suddenly withdraw. She might laugh at your jokes, touch your arm, or make lingering eye contact. Then, just when you think you've got her, she pulls back. Maybe she becomes distant in conversation, delays responding to your messages, or suddenly acts uninterested. It's not rejection, it's a tactic. This is called the push-pull effect, a powerful psychological technique that keeps men hooked. Why does it work? Because humans value what they have to work for. If something feels just out of reach, it becomes irresistible. Think about it. If she were available, eager, and without mystery, the excitement would fade quickly. But when she keeps you guessing, your brain stays engaged, trying to figure her out. Push-pull operates on the principle of intermittent reinforcement, the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. If you never know when the reward is coming, you keep playing. She might give you a taste of affection, then take it away, making you crave it even more. The unpredictability fuels attraction and keeps your emotional investment high. The longer this goes on, the stronger the connection feels, whether real or manufactured. However, there's a key to playing this game successfully: confidence. If you meet her teasing with equal energy, the game escalates. If she playfully withdraws, don't chase, mirror her. If she teases you, tease her back. If she pulls away, don't panic. Instead, respond with nonchalance. The worst thing you can do is become needy or overly eager. Women are drawn to men who remain composed under pressure. The ability to maintain your composure, even when she seems disinterested, signals to her that you are high value and not easily shaken. Some women use push-pull subconsciously, while others deploy it strategically. A woman who understands seduction instinctively uses this dynamic to build tension. She wants you to chase, but only to a point. She also wants to know that you're the kind of man who doesn't crumble under pressure. If you can hold your own and match her energy, you turn the game into an intoxicating dance where both of you are equally engaged and excited. But be aware, there's a fine line between seduction and manipulation. If a woman is using push-pull in a way that makes you constantly question your worth, feel anxious or doubt yourself, she may be playing games rather than genuinely building attraction. The key is balance, mutual enjoyment, not one-sided pursuit. Sign 8. The what-if scenarios. A seductive woman will mentally explore being with you before she makes a move, but she won't say it outright. Instead, she'll test the waters with subtle what-if scenarios. What if we were stranded on an island together? Who would survive? What if we had met years ago? Do you think we would have gotten into trouble? What if we had to share a hotel room? Would you trust me? These aren't just random hypotheticals. They're her way of subtly placing you in a romantic or even intimate frame without directly expressing interest. If she's imagining what-ifs with you, she's already thought about it. Now, she's waiting to see how you'll respond. Why does this work? Because it allows her to gauge your reaction without directly putting herself on the line. If you react positively, playing along, teasing her, or showing intrigue, she takes it as a green light. If you act oblivious or dismissive, she knows to back off. It's a low-risk way for her to explore chemistry without feeling exposed. The key to handling what-if scenarios is to play along. If she jokes about being stranded on an island with you, don't just say, "I'd build a raft and leave." Instead, engage her. "I'd build us a shelter first. Can you start a fire, or am I doing all the work?" If she wonders what would have happened if you met years ago, respond with, "Oh, we definitely have been trouble. You look like the type to get me into things." The point is to keep the playful energy alive. She's not just testing your imagination, she's also checking how comfortable you are with a bit of romantic tension. If you shy away or take it too seriously, the spark fizzles. But if you lean in with charm and wit, you amplify the attraction. This technique works because it's indirect. Instead of openly expressing interest, which can feel vulnerable, she frames the conversation in a way that allows for playfulness, curiosity, and testing compatibility. If you respond well, it strengthens the connection, giving her the confidence to pursue things further. If you fail to engage, she sees it as a sign to move on. So the next time a woman playfully presents a what-if scenario, recognize it for what it is, a subtle invitation. She's already imagined you in that role. Now, she's waiting to see if you'll step into it. Keep in mind that these scenarios can escalate. If she's using increasingly bold hypotheticals, such as, "What if we had to share a bed for a night?" She's not just testing the waters, she's actively visualizing intimacy. The more you play along and build the tension, the more likely it is that her interest will manifest into action. Seduction isn't luck, it's perception. Women don't seduce by accident. The question isn't whether a woman is seducing you, it's whether you're paying attention. Now tell me, have you ever noticed these signs? Drop a comment below, let's talk. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.